Reverend
Yes.
Miller, Reverend Miller will do that for us.
Reverend Miller, would you lead us in invocation, please?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. God bless you all. Greet you all in the name of love and, of course, in the name of solidarity and love, in the love of God and solidarity. As a UAW retiree myself, I'm still on the battlefield for equality for all of our people. And I thank God for this opportunity. I want to say to President Frank Woods, to this executive board members, and then to President-elect Michael Joseph, my friend, my brother from another mother. I want to thank you all for the invitation to give an invocation to this such meaningful chapter of the CBTU. And so, not to prolong time any further, let's look to the Lord in prayer. Eternal God, God of love, grace, and mercy, thank you for the divine presence that we sense even now. Thank you for being our God and allowing us to be your people. You are the God of justice, the God of the oppressed, the God of our weary years, the God of our silent tears. For if it had not been for you on our side who brought us this far this way, to proclaim freedom for the captives, to give sight for the blind, and to set the oppressed free. Therefore, God, we acknowledge you and welcome you today. And Lord, I ask that you, oh God, by the Lord Jesus and your spirit, that you will continue to empower, lead and guide the CBTU within the visions and dreams that you have imparted onto them, that their vision, every vision and every dream will become reality. Oh God, you've done it in the past. You've led us and sustained us over the years. And oh, hallelujah, we know that you're not through with us yet. And so I pray that the membership of this Detroit chapter in solidarity, in unity and oneness be also mindful and thankful for the past, but more importantly, appreciative of the present life opportunities, giving to them to be a blessing to our people while focusing on the strategic divine vision for the future. So God, I pray that you use the CBTU to shine a light and illuminate the injustices in our society. Use the CBTU for social and economic and political justice for all, equality for all, that through them, that the quality of life will improve by providing quality education, quality healthcare, higher wages, and better working conditions. God, use them by the power of your spirit. God, we thank you for the tenure of Brother Woods. But oh God, we pray now for President-elect and the new elected officials, God, that they would be used by you as leaders with wisdom and knowledge, that we would act not in fear, but by faith, trusting and believing in the dream, trusting and believing in the vision, that it will become reality because of the work that you have for them to do. So endow this President-elect, endow this board. God, endow your people with your spirit and with your power in strength like for times like these. Because the battle's not over. And the battle is not ours, it's yours, Lord. So partner with them, walk with them, talk with them, lead them, guide them in a way that only you can. And we'll always give you the praise, the glory. Let's do your name. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen and thank God.
Amen.
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 Thank you, Lord.
Amen. Thank you,
Beautiful,
Lord.
beautiful, Gerald. Thank you, man.
Well, bless you. And I would love to stay on with you all, but I have another meeting that I need to get to. But again, thank you all. And I'm praying with you. And Mike is trying to get me to join with you. So I might just do that as well.
We are more than welcome.
We'd love to have you.
All right. God bless you. God keep you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Now, before we get into the meeting real quick, I want to again thank everybody for supporting me through the years. And I have not gone yet. And I want to thank the board for blessing me with the title of President Emeritus, which means I've still got work to do. And I'm going to continue to work with CBTU as the President Emeritus and also as the Director for the state of Michigan. So with that, we can move right into quickly a financial report. Is Oscar still on? We can do a brief financial report and then we'll give a brief president's report. And then we can pick it up on the other, well, after everybody's sworn in.
Oh, yeah, what the? Oh, yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the balance in our Comerica bank account, Region 7, the balance is $613.84. Our Detroit chapter account, the starting balance is $2,839.29. The Cash App amounts were $420. Checks and money orders were $160, and it's highlighted on some of you guys had a report. It said the checks were received, but they were not deposited. And gonna mention that in our new business, we didn't have no accounts payable. That leaves an ending balance of $3,259.29. Our scholarship fund, the balance is $234.04. Our First Independence Bank account is $5,035.90, which leaves us a final ending balance of $9,143.07. And I just want to appreciate and thank everyone for your support for me to step in. And like I said, that like this, and thank everybody for their prayers during the current situation that's going on with my family. And I wish Tawana much success and the organization, but I still will be around to assist to the best of my ability.
Motion to accept.
Wait, before we can accept it as that, the financial report that was printed, the items that Oscar said were, there was a change in it. So if we're gonna make a motion to accept, it has to be motion to accept with the changes. The financial report printed shows $380 for Cash App. Oscar mentioned it was $420. So there's a $40 discrepancy.
Motion to accept with the necessary changes.
Support.
You're on mute, Frank. We can't hear you.
All those in favor of the motion signify by aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. Thank you very much. And let's give Oscar a round of applause for his work that he did in the difficult situation after the passing of our past treasurer, Arnold Miller. Thank you, Oscar. Okay. Since we really don't have any committee reports or things of that nature, I'm just going to jump right into my report as president, my final report as president. In the board meeting, I let folks know that we were working on a project. I have been working on a project in Dearborn called a Homage to Black Excellence. And it's going to be a year-long series of town hall meetings and come for the next few months, and they're culminating in a Juneteenth mobility stroll and roll down Michigan Avenue. Some of you may have seen this commercial that was produced as part of that. A part of that, I'm going to have Phil to play that for those who, in case any of them might see it, so you'll know what's going on. So Phil can cue it up. I will greatly appreciate it.
Can you see me? Do you know me? Can you?
Oh, shit.
Everybody see it?
It's coming.
Oh, okay.
You see me?
Do you know me? Can you hear me?
I am here.
Right here. And here.
Here.
Black in Dearborn. We live here. We work here. We shop here. We pray here.
I am here.
I am
Right here.
Black
in Dearborn.
Leader, teachers, artists,
Entrepreneurs.
engineers, clergy,
Scientists.
doctors.
students.
We are here.
We
are
are
right
right here.
Black
in Dearborn.
In Dearborn. Together, we can build a better Dearborn.
Right. That's part of the Homage to Black Excellence. That particular commercial was shown on actually through Comcast, and it was shown on CNN, MSNBC, BET, a number of networks over the last week and a half. And like I said, that's part of the Homage to Black Excellence, which will include some panel discussions starting actually next Saturday, which will be the first one will be about economics and entrepreneurship, building businesses in Dearborn. Then we're going to have a couple more once a month through June, up until June. The last one to be in May, and then we will do the mobility stroll and roll. Phil has some other information he could throw up. You can see what the project is and who's involved. I actually sent this out to a few folks to look at and become involved in it. I'm only going to do a part report before we do the swearing in, and then I will pick it up as we get to new business, or when we get to committee reports. So, Phil, you can put that up real quick. What time is Kathy coming on, Michael? Oh, she's here. I see you. All right. You got to turn your mic on.
She's coming on now, Frank.
Okay, great.
I am.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I hear you.
Okay.
Are you ready? You ready to do the swearing in?
I'm ready whenever you all are.
Okay. I can do this report, Michael, for the
Frank, right after the swearing in, you just continue. We'll keep the continuity going.
All right, it'll work. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to our illustrious Wayne County Clerk and good friend, Kathy Garrett, for the swearing in of the new officers and the executive board.
Right before you start, Dave Claxton, did you get on?
Yes, I'm on.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
thank
on.
you. Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And let me say that I'm truly honored and thankful that you thought of me to ask me to swear you in. It is truly an honor. So this is different over Zoom. My God. I hope this never becomes the norm. But anyway,
No lie.
I know.
see everybody's face without a mask on. But let's raise your right hand. I see. Okay. Repeat after me. I.
Juanita.
State your name.
Michael
Sign your right.
Frank Woods.
Juanita Davis McKinney.
Calvin McKinney.
Roy Scott.
Michelle Thomas.
Anthony Thomas.
Michael Joseph.
Okay.
Joanne White.
Tawana Tucker.
Shakir Wahab.
Vince Jones.
All right.
Do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States.
Do
solemnly swear
to support the
Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the State of Michigan.
The Constitution of
Michigan.
And the bylaws of the Coalition of the Black Trade Unions.
And the
bylaws of the Constitution of the Black Trade Union.
As I faithfully discharge the duties of the office of
As I faithfully discharge the office of
Executive Board.
Correspondent
Secretary. First Vice President.
President.
Third Vice President. According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
And I'm sure everyone on here knows, so help me God.
So help me God.
So help me God.
So now by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Michigan and the county of Wayne, it is indeed my honor to congratulate you all. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Kathy.
you.
God bless
All right,
you.
thank you. Thank you.
Kathy.
Bye-bye.
Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you. Kathy Garrett, I want to thank you so much. And not just for today, Kathy, but to thank you for your service to this county for so many years and to this community.
Right.
You are loved and respected for a reason because of who you are and the things that you do. So we thank you.
Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. Well, I want to personally welcome everybody who's here today. I want to thank you for joining us today. I'd like to acknowledge some people who are here. Our Vice President of UAW4, Brother Gerald Kareem. You still here, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mike.
Sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. You'd like to say some words to us, sir?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mike. And I just want to say good afternoon to all of the activists and the trade unionists out there, brothers and sisters whom I've known, some of you for a long time and some of you for a short time. And I just like to say thank you on behalf of President Terry Melvin, who I spoke to this morning, told him that I'd be on this call. And I just want to say to Frank Woods, the legendary Frank Woods, Frank has been in the vineyard and on the battlefield for a long time, as most of you know. 13 months ago, Frank and I was in a conference in Florida with CBTU. And Frank, I just want to personally say thank you for navigating and assisting me while I was there. It's clear to me that the national CBTU and members all around the country well respect Frank Woods and in the work that the body of work that you've done over the years. So congratulations on your next transition as emeritus. You never know, the way you sound on that video, you might just be preaching here. The next day might be preaching. And Mike, I, on behalf of UAW, I want to just tell you, continue to do what you do. We've observed you over the years being a community activist and a true trade unionist. So best of luck and wishes to you in this this responsibility that you have taken on. And to all of you, congratulations on your new elections. Thank you and happy Valentine's Day. Y'all have a great Saturday. And that's all I got. Thanks.
Thanks for stopping by and thank you for paying your membership dues. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's no problem.
Thank you, Gerald. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Gerald.
Now, we also have another special guest. This morning, she was called the godmother of politics here. Are you still there, Miss Quarles, Nancy Quarles?
Oh, man.
Yes, I'm still
Would you
here.
like to share a couple of words with us, my sister?
True legend there.
Yes, she is.
I really appreciate the invitation. It's really interesting that I got it at this time, and I'll tell you in 1 minute, but I do want to acknowledge and thank Frank Woods for all he's done, not only what he's done in this union, but in other positions, and more importantly, and especially to me, out here in Oakland County. He was one of the people that would reach out here when there wasn't much opportunity, but he didn't stay away from it. So Mike, as always, you got your hands full. And of course, where I can help you, I will. As we know, unions have always been important to me growing up in a union household. And even as I went through my political career, which I no longer an elected official, but in my new capacity, the timing is really great for this, and I want to become more involved. I'm now one of Oakland County Road commissioners. There's only 3 of us. And needless to say, I am the first African American. And as in my little short period of time being appointed to that back in January.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. There's some issues that I certainly want to work with the organization with to bring forth and make sure that the wealth, the opportunities are being distributed equally, and there will be diversity. So I kind of lean on you as I'm beginning this new task, and want to be a help to the organization as well. So thank you, Mr. President. Call on me. I will be paying my dues as soon as I find out where I pay them.
Just go on our website.
Okay, I will do that.
Thank you. Nancy's been a mentor to me for years, and I thank you, my sister.
We're definitely gonna call on you.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, please do.
From the state level.
I want to see Oakland County more involved out there.
Yes. Now, do we have any other elected officials on the line? Any other union elected officials or representatives on the line?
I see Stephanie Young.
Oh, there she is, my sister, Stephanie. Good afternoon, representative. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm just so grateful for the invitation. Thank you, Frank Woods. Frank Woods and I, we came up through the trenches for a long time. I know you well through our good sister B Ward and have seen your work over the years. And then our new president. Yeah, I say congratulations to everybody. I had an opportunity to work with State Representative Nancy Quarles back in the day. So now I'm following in her footsteps. And I come from a union household myself. My father was UAW4, so I know what it means to stand in solidarity. And I just want you all to know that I'm here. I am here to support, to advocate, to do what it takes to continue the mission of the CBTU. It's so important. And particularly when I look at trades, I think about our young people who don't know that they have options like the trades. And so that's just something that's been top of mind for me. So I'm ready to roll my sleeves up and find out how I can help advance the cause that you all are doing in your good work. So thank you. And thank you again, Mr. President, for the invitation.
Thank you for coming. You're outstanding. We are so happy you won. And, you know, you and I are talking, we're going to do some work together. So again, we thank you for your support and coming today. Do we have any other elected officials? Then I will ask my good sister, Frankie Darcell. You still there, Mr. Darcell? Are you still there, Frankie? Okay, she's gone away. But she's an incredible activist, and she is always out here in the community with us, and that's what we like. So we're gonna switch back to Frank's gonna continue his report. We've got some things we're gonna share with you a little later. I'll give the president's report. But right now, I want to go back to Frank. Before we even do that, Frank, I was going to do it in my report, but let me do it now. And you all heard the words of all these folks that came on, and we were blessed to have his leadership as president of the Detroit chapter. And we talked about the executive board. Frank has done so many wonderful things, not just with CBTU, but out in the community. So again, Frank, we just want to take this time to say thank you, man. Continue doing what you're doing. Not just with CBTU, but, you know, helping this community, helping this country, and more importantly, with things you do for your family. You are a man that people greatly respect and love, brother. So let's give us our round of applause to our President Emeritus, Mr. Frank Woods.
Y'all know I love y'all. Appreciate everything y'all do.
Much respect, my brother.
Thank
All right,
you.
so
I ain't going nowhere.
Getting back to the business. Go ahead, my brother.
All right. Phil, put it back up, please. We're talking about Dearborn and what project we have going in Dearborn. It's called the Homage to Black Excellence. I don't know if everybody was on board when we had the commercial up. I don't know why I keep getting knocked off. Hold on a second, Phil. All right. Everybody see what's going right at the top. We started this project, actually started last year. And it's just a continuation, and we renamed it. Last year, Dearborn had their first Black History celebration. Their first. And they had a $14 budget. That's all they gave her to put it together. She had an art show and different, she started out with an art show and an event at the, actually it was at the Arab and Chaldean Museum across the street. And that went over, it was not well attended because it was not actually advertised the way it should. What can you do with 14 bucks? So this year, working with her, we decided to, she decided to really try to step it up. And we sat around and came up with this theme, Homage to Black Excellence. And the reason is because Dearborn is only 4%, Black are only 4% of Dearborn's population. But we have 49% of the traffic stops. And we leave a lot of money in Dearborn, not just through the traffic stops, but through shopping, especially in eating, shopping at the malls, and buying gas as we go through. We leave a lot of money in Dearborn, so we don't really get the respect we deserve. So we put together this committee. I was asked to get on the committee representing CBTU. As you'll see on there, I'm representing two organizations, Coalition of Black Trade Unionists and the Black Caucus Foundation of Michigan. I'm the board chairman for the, I'm not the board chairman, I'm the board secretary for the Black Caucus Foundation of Michigan. So as we worked to put this together, we came up with a few things. The first one is we're gonna have a series of town halls that start next week, next Saturday, actually on the 20th. And the first one is going to be around economics, which is entrepreneurship and building business in Dearborn, which they have a complete lack of. Because if we don't have businesses there, like you said, why go there? Why shop there? I mean, it's really basically a pass-through situation that we experience in Dearborn. And so you have this, the first thing we kicked off, which is online now, it's a virtual art show. It's called a Black Lives Matter 360 exhibition. It was originally named Art of Courage, Art of Protest. But of course, the powers that be in Dearborn were kind of worried about saying protest. So we agreed to change the name to Courage. And you can still donate money to the exhibition, which is going to run, I believe, through February. And these are the levels of contributions you can make. Anybody that needs a copy of this, we can make sure you get it. As long as I have your email, I can email it to you. And I will email you an updated version of it. Okay, go ahead, move forward, Phil. You'll see the artwork that was drawn up for this. And we're including teachers, students, we're including everybody that wants to be involved in this. We have a number of art that was actually delivered, started on the 27th of January. So it's all in place. And I'm going to make sure everybody gets the link to that virtual art show. Go ahead. And part of this, go ahead, one more. I was talking about the town halls. Back down. Come down one more. One more. Where's the sponsorship package? There it is. All right. These are for the town halls. They got the Dearborn Town Hall meetings that are going to take place this month, next week. It's actually going to be the third Saturday of every month. The first one is it's going to be, like I said, around entrepreneurship and building small business. The panelists are Donnell White, former executive director of Detroit branch NAACP, now vice president of diversity for TCF Bank. We have Ken Harris, used to be the chairman of the Black Chamber of Commerce here in Detroit. And he is now, I can't think of the name of his national organization he's the president of. So Tracy has it forwarded to her. I'm going to make sure I get her the updated version before she sends it out. So just Tracy will get your name off the, if you want a copy. So this is where we are. It's got a DEI, and it's diversity, equity, and inclusion. And these are the levels of participation and sponsorship that we want to have to support the town halls, because they're going to be virtual. And this is basically advertising for our organization. going forward through all the panel discussions. And we
Frank,
can talk. Yes,
Frank,
ma'am.
1 minute. I put in chat that if anybody wants any information, forward me in the chat, give me your name and your email address, and we'll compile a list and make sure everyone gets that information.
Great.
You can do it right now in the chat.
All right, great. So yeah, so let's follow what Tracy says, and we make sure we get that to you. Because we want everybody involved, and we want to make sure it gets out, not just in this organization, but to every organization that's out there. So these are the levels that we can participate in for the panel discussions. You saw the level we get to participate in for the art show, which is ongoing. And the other thing that's coming up, we had the discussion about Juneteenth. And actually the overall, it's like two things. It's like Dearborn and Beyond 2021 and how we're going to transform Dearborn. In June, for Celebrate Juneteenth, which actually everybody knows is becoming a big thing, which it should. We're putting together a mobility stroll and roll celebration. And the stroll and roll will consist of all forms of mobility. And what the mobility is from your feet, which is the form that slaves had when they somebody needs to mute their phone. Okay, thank you. Which was the form everyone had when they were slaves. They had to walk. They weren't really given horses or things of that nature to get to where they had to go, which is how Juneteenth came about, because the slaves and Texas didn't know that they were free. And word didn't get to them because of the communication and the mobility until June. So that's the impetus for Juneteenth. So you can scroll up, you see this is the corporate sponsorship that we're looking to that we're sending out for corporate sponsors like the heavyweights like Ford, General Motors, Chrysler, DTE, those of those natures. You have all different levels in which they can participate. That's for just to make sure we have the banners and the things in place we need to and all the equipment that's going to come with this. If it's going to be filmed, anything that we can put together, and it's right there on the package where you'll see you got a T-shirt, and you get everything is listed in that which you can participate in. The stroll part, where people can walk or get on their bicycles, and see, there's going to be a sign up, and we're going to probably put together. We're working on where we're going to have people sign up either individually or as teams. It's going to be the sign up. It's going to be similar to what they did when we had when we did the March of Dimes walks. You can join as teams or individuals, and we'll probably have a nominal fee of like $5 to get in. We haven't decided that. That's still in process. So scroll up, Phil. And like I said, you got all different opportunities coming up. And the sponsorship list and other ways to sponsor are listed here, where you can sponsor PPE, staging, just different things to make sure that the event is a success, and your signage and your banners and things of that nature. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Phil. Sorry, scroll back. Are we back at the beginning? Okay.
This is the last 2 pages. This is the last 2 pages.
Okay, go back. You should be good. And so you see, those are some of the organizations that are participating. We're having a meeting where we're recruiting other organizations, APRI, Downriver APRI, Metro, Detroit, Dearborn, Canton, CBTU has come aboard. I'm enlisting Lansing, and the other CBTUs out there to participate. Michael came on our meeting the other day. He invited him to the meeting, so he's full abreast of what's going on, and we're going to keep Michael. He's going to be on our. Matter of fact, he's invited to every meeting concerning this going forward. Now, whether he can participate, that's another thing, but you'll still get the information. I sent this out to a number of organizations. The final copy, the updated copy, I'm going to resend out to different organizations, labor unions, so that way we can get support for this. As you know, if we don't do anything but try to make sure there's a change, we can't make a change sitting on the sidelines, because we go to Dearborn. Everybody on this link, on this thing, they go to Dearborn for something, even if they just pass through. They go to Dearborn, and for us to get stopped 49% of the times in Dearborn, that's just reprehensible, and we have got to stop it. One of the town hall forums is actually going to be about policing and about policing and safety in Dearborn as it relates to African Americans and our challenges that we have when we're in Dearborn. The chief, I went to one of their what you call it, not town hall, but one of their city meetings with mayor and the city council meeting, where they had discussions. And the chief said, which I found, I didn't believe him when he said that they had met with the NAACP, and the NAACP certified them as a community that encourages diversity and all that other stuff, and that their police department is rated one of the best ones when it comes to inclusiveness and safety. But the traffic stops don't bear that out. So we definitely want to take him to, I even asked the question, who did you speak with in the NAACP and when did this take place? And never got an answer. So of course, we invited the NAACP to participate, and Camilla has said, of course, Frank, anything you need, we will participate whatever level you need. So as we go forward, we're pretty sure she's going to participate on a town hall, virtual town hall, whatever we need to be done. But we got to keep hammering Dearborn. We leave too much money in Dearborn to continue to be treated the way we do. So I'm gonna leave it at that. This is we got to a real long discussion in the board meeting, and I know everybody don't want to do that this afternoon. But I do have, if you have questions, like Phil said, raise your hand, and I'll try to answer them right now to the best of my ability. Michael.
Like you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm having problems with my stuff. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need to wait until new business, Frank. I like to keep this continuity because, again, everybody, this meeting is a little different than what we normally do, because we have a program, a Black History program we can present to you. But as I told Frank, especially as our regional leader, that we need to support him on this. So I would like to entertain a motion from someone that we goes with the $500 slot. And Frank and I talked about it offline, that we're going to ask the other chapters in Michigan. Hopefully they'll do $500 as well, but at least that we have a united front at CBTU Region 7. So is there anyone who would like to make that motion?
I motion that we support the project that our President Emeritus is involved in at this moment, the $500.
I second. Lois seconds.
Okay, it's been motion. Anthony. Thank Lois or Anthony. Well, thank you both. It has been motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? And motion has passed. So Frank, the Detroit chapter is committed to $500.
Thank you very much. We will make sure when that's out there, we will have all our signage. Matter of fact, Phil, that banner you have right back to you is one we need to make sure Detroit is represented. When we put it on the signage. So send it to you. Yep, send that to me. And I already have one from from Canton. I got the one for for Michigan Region 7. So we're gonna be well represented. We're gonna be well represented. And I thank you very much. With that, that's all I got.
Okay, well, thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
So I'd like to give the president's report. So again, as I was saying before, I want to thank those of you who are here. welcome home. Those of you who are guests, thank you for coming. But before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to remembrance of some warriors who have fallen and made their transition. Our brother Arnold Miller, who was a victim of this hideous disease. Our brother Benny Napoleon as well. Our queen, our sister, Abner Hogan, and today he's being laid to rest in peace, Cliff Woodwards II, as well as our own family and friends who have passed. So I'd like to take a moment of silence for all of those folks. Thank you, everyone. Again, Frank said, and I want to reiterate it. Thank you to Oscar Brown. Oscar came in at a very difficult time. Our brother Arnold Miller had passed, and Oscar came in and stepped in, and we had some issues, and he was right there swimming with the sharks. So Oscar, again, you and I spoke privately, but I want to say publicly, thank you for your service, brother, as the treasurer. We thank you so much. And we also have a new member here, Veronica Smith. Veronica, you still with us?
I am. Hello,
Hi.
everyone.
Well, I'd like to ask you, as a new member, one, what made you join CBTU? What union are you with? And what kind of words can you inspire us with?
Well, my father worked at Chrysler, so he was a union worker. He's passed on now, and have a strong passion for civil rights and just, equal justice. And I also am a executive board member of Fannie Lou Hamer Political Action Committee. And I am here also supporting my sister, Tanya Ray. And I'm just glad to be here.
Well, thank you. And thank you for joining our organization. And I'd like to congratulate all the newly elected board members and officers. For me speaking personally, I'm just humbled and encouraged by the many words of support and expressions of faith by our current and former CBTU members, the community, and the leadership of various institutions. So again, I thank you. Before I go on, are there any other public elected officials or any other union elected officials on the call that we may have missed? Okay.
Yes, Laura Dickerson.
Hey, my sister.
Region 1A Assistant Director. I just want to first thank Frank Woods. We've been friends for a long time. And thank you for your service. I've been with CBTU since the early days. So many people on this call probably remember me. And I also served on the executive board at a time. So I just want to say that my beginnings, my roots started with CBTU. Get active, stay active, support. It has a lot to offer. The various conferences, the meetings and support that we provide, we're family. So yeah, I just encourage everyone as they start their new roles. You took an oath for a reason. And so congratulations to everyone. Thanks. And I want to bring two greetings on behalf of Director Chuck Browning. So thank you much.
Thank you so much. And everybody want to make sure everybody understands it's Black History Month, and Laura has made Black history. Well, she really made American history. She made labor history. She is the first assistant director at Region 1A. So let's give a round of applause for our sister made history. Yes.
Well, not just Region 1A. So in the history of the UAW to hold an assistant director position at any region. So.
Ooh, you go, girl. Pop that thing and stab that finger. But we congratulate you. And as you and I spoke the other day, Chuck made an excellent choice. And as anything you need from us, CBTU, we will be there with you.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Appreciate you. And that's what we're going to do. CBTU Detroit, we're going to continue to do the work necessary to help grow and sustain our unions in our communities. We will be enthusiastically engaged in the fight against injustice and for the equity of opportunity for all Americans. But how are we going to do that? By educating our members in the community on the issues that labor is facing. Whether it's job creation and retention, political action, the history and importance of labor unions, the strength of diversity, and the power of solidarity are among the issues we're going to be addressing. Now, our chapter is committed to working with members of all unions. And those of we were trying to recruit people, many people as we can, whether they're working now, they're retired, or they're just friends of labor. We have a package for everybody. Everybody is welcome. And we honor our past by creating a better future in the spirit of respect and togetherness. We are brothers and sisters helping brothers and sisters. We must focus on our purpose, not our personalities. Now, I plan on being a thorn in the side of racists, whether they are the police or politicians, whether it is repressive legislation or workplace rules. I will be a thorn in the side, and I know that this organization will do the same thing to anyone who denies a worker their dignity and ability to earn a fair wage. Our chapter is ready to do the work that needs to be done for this community, but most importantly, for our families. Now, we've got to ask ourselves, we should do this every day. How can we serve in new ways that we haven't served before? How do we get better? We will ask ourselves every day, how do we make a difference in the last 24 hours? Again, we are brothers and sisters helping brothers and sisters. And we can't live off what we did in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, or even now in the 2000s. We must engage our younger members. Many of us grew up in a union household. We heard a sister talking about today, Veronica was talking about her dad, you know, with Big Daddy, Auntie, Mr. Johnson from church, our friend's daddy. Somebody worked in a plant, a post office, classroom, and paid union dues. Now, improving communications with you and the community is a priority. So please, everybody, today, make sure that you give Tracy all of your contact information, including your phone number and correct email. Because one of the problems we have is people have not been receiving information, and we're working to rectify that problem. So bear with us, but we're gonna make it happen, everybody. We're gonna be publishing a newsletter, holding Zoom town halls, hosting safe events to teach and share labor story of service and accomplishments. We're gonna have a trade union fair and events where members can sell their own products. You have your entrepreneurs, you know, while we have unions with informational booths. I want to create a CBTU Black Yellow Pages where we compile any of our members who may have a quality business with product and services that we can patronize them, as well as Black businesses in our community. We're going to have a financial literacy workshop by the First Independent Bank. We're putting that together now. Too many of our people are going to check and go, and we got to try to educate them on the need to use their money wisely. This information is going to be available not just for our members, but for our families and for the community. Next month, we're going to be having a special celebration. Tanya's putting together something that you're really going to love. And she and I are going to be working on together on putting together a webinar on the virus, the vaccine. We're not going to tell people to do it, not do it. We're going to give them information so they can make intelligent decisions about participating in the inoculation. We're collaborating with other organizations. We're going to be reading the children in classrooms, feeding seniors and others. We want the community and the country to see what unions are doing, you know, whether it's we're marching on strike lines or walking a child to school. Ambitious, yes. Ambitious is only the beginning, y'all, because you know why? We have you, and we need you and your ideals. Yesterday, I talked to Bill Lucy, and I asked him how he felt about it being the 50th anniversary. And by the way, to let you know, the 50th anniversary of CBTU has now been moved to November. It'll be November 9th through the 14th in Chicago. They're planning on doing it under safe conditions, be less workshops, but still are planning to move forward with that. And he shared with me how they came together. It was by necessity. They didn't know if they were going to last 50 minutes, let alone 50 years. And he asked me to tell you to not forget the names of the people who worked hard and sacrificed for the workers and the community to make CBTU a reality. He said what kept them together was a spirit of togetherness, because they worked together to deal with the hardships of the battle that they were engaged in. And we're going to take that, use that as a role model. We're going to, again, we're going to have committees. We need you to get involved. For example, we have a social media team. And what's that going to tell everybody? We're going to have rotating teams. I know you all are busy, but if you're good at social media things, you can help Phil. Phil will be running that. He'll still be in charge, but he needs help. So you might work with him for 2 or 3 months, and we'll have some other guys and ladies come and help him. We have a YouTube channel that we're going to have out. We need you to go to our YouTube channel, look at everything will be on our website, and become a subscriber to our YouTube channel. We're going to be doing podcasts. We're going to have a newsletter, our political action program, voter registration, of course, with the Secretary of State and NAACP. COVID information, we're going to be providing a lot of information to our community. We're going to have CPL classes, and as Tanya told me, Tanya, we call it tactical
training.
Tactical training. Tanya said, my God, you can't just hold a gun, they got to know what to do with it. Yes, ma'am. And of course, dues, everybody, that's important. And Tracy and Tawana are going to talk to you about new business, how we have to do our checks now. But it's a new day. And and I'm taking that from Kurt Franklin, and that it is our time to shine and bring these young people along. You know, don't think that you're not important. Don't think that your idea is not, because it is. I don't know everything, and you know a lot. And all of us collectively together, coming together, sharing our ideas. We're not gonna agree on everything, but we're gonna agree on a whole lot of things, and it's our time to shine. I want to share with you, I was at the 14th district meeting this morning. Something that's going to be coming up. Frank and I have been talking about this for years, but redistricting, and it has really gotten to be a serious thing. So I'm going to share something. I will have the link for some of the bullet points I'm going to give you. It's a detailed report. I'm going to go into all the detail, but we need to put this on the front burner. They're trying to get rid of the 14th, either merge the 14th and the 13th. But redistricting, as you know, is very important. It's delayed right now due to the information from the census, because the census wasn't all the information we received late. But a timeline has been set. They're looking at 3 firms to bid on this with the software. It is delayed probably to the end of July, may even be pushed back until September. And then here in Michigan, they're going to get legal counsel, because this is why we tell people it's important to vote. The Voting Rights Act, the John Lewis Act, stipulates in there that they have to maintain minority districts. So that's something that we have a quiver in our arrow in our quiver. And again, we talk about how many House seats a state can have. In Michigan, we lost population, we did not grow. So we don't know yet, but many people think that the 14th may be gone. And what they were talking about this morning, the 14th, and Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence came on as well, is that it should be a Republican district that should be eliminated, not a Democratic district. But again, it goes back, we've been talking about, everybody, voter importance of voting and voter suppression. They're going to be holding public hearings in April. The commission said they're going to be holding at least 10 public hearings, and we should be there, letting our voices being heard. Again, that's going to be starting in May, in August, September, and October, and they won't have it completed again by September, but it'll be contingent upon whether they get the information from the census. November 1st, the report must be published. December 1, and it becomes law on December 31st. So that's where we're at. And you guys know about Jeremy. So those are something on the front burner I just wanted to share with you. What we want to do now, everyone, is because it's Black History Month, we have a special treat for you. But before I can do that, I just want to call out our office again so you can see the faces of these great people. So Vince, you want to wave everybody, let everybody know who you are?
I'm like in my truck at work, all right? You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. But hello, everyone. My name is Vince Giles.
And Vince is our Sergeant at Arms, your Sergeant at Arms, and he also is our skilled trades guru. He and I have been having some great conversations, and we got some exciting things coming up. Our newest Sergeant at Arms, Miss Andela White. You want to say hello? Miss Andela? Did we lose her? Okay, well, if she comes back, you get a chance to see her as well. Then we have 3 outstanding sisters who are our trustees. Denise Floyd, Joanne White, and Pine Powell. You want to say hello to everybody?
Hello, how are you all doing? I'm glad to be your trustee.
Hello, I'm resuming the same spot as before, but we're going to do a fantastic job this time around.
Miss White?
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm here.
You want to show everybody that beautiful smile?
Oh. Wait. Hold on. Oh.
There she is.
Well, y'all be patient with us. We in the process of being nurses and doctors over here.
All right, baby, just stay healthy. So again, everybody, it is a team. We are a team working together to support you. Won't be able to induce the entire executive board, but these people are dedicated. And one of the things we talk about all the time, and you will hear me saying this over and over again, when I say thank you to you for coming, because we're spending time away from our families, things we could be doing. So I want to thank all of our executive board members, newly elected and the ones who've been serving for years. They're great, great people. But right now we're going to do some Black history reflections from your elected officers. So first up, I will ask the first Vice President, Ms. Tanya Ray. Tanya.
Hi, how are you? This evening, I am Tanya Ray. I am the newly elected first vice president. I am with UAW Ford, where I held at Local 600, and I serve on many committees. I am honored to serve in this capacity, and I plan to do my due diligence and do the work of the organization. My little Black history note for today that I'm absolutely proud of is I want to tell you about Dr. Lawrence C. Jones. Dr. Lawrence C. Jones graduated from the University of Iowa, where he learned, where after he graduated, he got on a train and went to Mississippi. He went to an area in Mississippi to where there were 80% of the rural area were poverty, non-educated. And of course, back in those times, and I'm talking about between 1884 to 1975. So back in those times, you know, we couldn't read and write. We weren't supposed to know how to read and write. But what Dr. Lawrence C. Jones did was get off the train right outside of Jackson, Rankin County, and went into the woods. And he went into the woods to teach the young people how to read and write, not only to read and write, but to also learn how to do things with their hands. And he also taught spirituality. This is near and dear to my heart because the school that he started is a all-Black boarding school, which is in Mississippi, and it's called Piney Woods Country Life School, which is my alma mater. I graduated there. You have to have, the Piney Woods is just like when I went, was just like a Renaissance and a Cass Tech. You have to have a certain grade point average to get in there. But they made sure they kept his legacy where they educated the head, the heart, and the hands. Also, Dr. Lawrence C. Jones was the founder of the only Black African-American blind school.
Excuse me, could someone mute? She's in the middle of her presentation. Could you please, everybody please mute? Thank you. Go ahead, Vice President.
They were the only, he found out, after he found out that their area couldn't read, he also saw a need for those who could not see and made space in Piney Woods School for a school of blind, the Negro School of the Blind. And then there's a lot of people come out of there. If you were familiar with singing, the Cotton Blossom Singers, who else was? He wrote a couple of books, and I'll leave you with a couple of books. Up Through Difficulties, and that was wrote in 1910. Piney Woods and Its Story, that was wrote in 1923. And The Bottom Rail, which was wrote in 1933. This is significant to me because it is very important that that we get educated, that our young people are educated, and that we tell our story. Dr. Lawrence C. Jones told our story, and throughout my history and throughout my time in the school, I was able to not only, when I left here in the 8th grade, and I went to DPS, and I end up, of course, I am, if you all know my background, y'all know that I attend Fellowship Chapel, where we are African-centered. So I learned my heritage through Fellowship Chapel and Piney Woods Country Life School. Check it out if you can. They have a website, Piney Woods Country Life School. It's known all over the world. We are international, so if all type of African Americans from everywhere. So unfortunately, I, like you all, may not be able to have your, you know how you all do your reunions here. My people are all, my classmates are all over the United States. We have some classmates that are from South Africa, Brazil, and all 3 of the Virgin Islands.
All right, T. Thank you so much. And that's a wonderful story of resilience, even with obstacles facing, being blind and deaf, excuse me, and that time putting together a Black school, we survived.
Right, and he nearly missed a lynching because they didn't want him to educate everybody, but he survived a lynching.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Frank. Yes.
Yeah. Well, y'all know I worked in Mississippi for a while, and I had the pleasure of actually stumbling upon that school.
Oh, wow.
In my travels while I was down there. And luckily it wasn't where we got lost, actually. That's how we found it. But then I came back and then Tanya was telling me about the school. I'm like, wait a dang minute. I remember that because then we connected on it. And every time I went back there, I didn't get lost. I went looking for it just to make sure I saw it. And it's still there.
Wow.
It was there when I was there working. So it is
We
something to be proud of.
Y'all hear me later on. I'm gonna be asking for some donations to
okay. After they pay their membership dues, okay. All right. We're gonna pause for a moment. Another sister, because we got these powerful African American sisters. We have LaChandra White, who's with us, and I'm gonna get her title correct. She is the Director of Civil and Human Rights Department at the UAW. She works for our great president, Mr. Roy Gamble. LaChandra, we have some words you'd like to share with us, please.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you today. President Gamble reached out to me and wanted to ensure that I sent greetings to you all on his behalf. He wanted to be here with you all, but he had prior commitments. As you all know, we're quite busy in the UAW. But on behalf of President Roy L. Gamble and the entire International Executive Board, I bring you greetings. Would like to acknowledge our Vice President, Gerald Kareem, who's also a National CBTU board member, and also Region 1A Assistant Director, Laura Dickerson, the first African-American female Assistant Director, and we're so very proud of her in the UAW. For just a wonderful job. But without any further ado, I won't be before you too long. I'm just actually coming from a funeral, I should say. But I just want to thank the Detroit chapter of the CBTU for being social and economic justice fighters and fighters for reform. Would like to thank Frank for all his years of hard work and dedication with the CBTU Detroit chapter. I know that you guys are in good hands with Michael Joseph, who's the current new president, and also would like to just thank all of the executive board members and for those that have been standing with us and fighting in the trenches for many, many years, standing up for workers' rights, civil rights, and women's rights as we continue to advocate for fair contracts. But I would be remiss if I forgot about my retirees. You all know that I still represent retirees. I'm so very, very proud to do so. And so I would like to acknowledge all our retirees who continue to stand with us and be strong with us as we continue to fight for men and women, not just in our great union, but all unions across the United States of America and this world. So without any further ado, I just want to thank you guys. If it's anything that the Civil and Human Rights Department can do to assist the Detroit chapter of the CBTU, please let us know. Reach out to Michael. He'll contact President Gamble, who will then be in touch with me. But once again, he did renew his membership, so he wanted me to let you guys know that as well. And he stands with all of you and all of us as we continue this journey together. Thank you.
Thank you. And please tell President Gamble we say thank you so much for paying his dues. Thank you.
I will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, President.
Appreciate it. Sorry to hear about the death of your comfort the family.
Yes, thank you.
Too much of that going on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for taking the time. Now we'll continue, everybody, with our history. Next up is our main man, Mr. Phil, our second vice president. Phil Holyfield. Phil, wave to the people and let's hear your reflection on Black history.
I'm had a long thing that I was going to do. I'm not really feeling it, primarily because in the last couple of weeks I have lost family members, and even yesterday, sister was in a bad car accident.
Oh,
car was total, but she is fine.
Oh,
Thank you,
so
Lord.
yeah, so I just my cousin was on the phone with his mother, and when he passed, he just dropped dead all of a sudden. So it's like that caught me real left. You know what I'm saying? So, but
no, we understand.
What I'm gonna speak on briefly is a brother, Granfield Woods, and this engineer, because you know my thing is always been about communication, you know, and reaching out to others, and you know, just disseminating information. But this engineer, he actually created the telegraph and the telephone, and had held 150 patents that he sold to American Bell and GE. And I'm just like, wow, this brother was doing it back in the day. He sued Thomas Edison and won. I was like, okay, well, he really doing big things. He really doing big things. But I guess the biggest things about his synchronous system is that even way back in the early days, it allowed trains to communicate whether they were in front of or one train or behind the other train. So, you know, that way, you know, that keeps, you know, from accidents happening. Then they also using that same transmission for communication, as, you know, as far as, like today, that would be like internet, or, you know, this data over wire. So, but that's just a short brief of it. But I was just impressed that he had created that and then sold it to two major industries, you know, over the years. So I didn't dove too much deeper into it, but that was the best I could do at this time.
Oh, that is fine, but we appreciate it, and we will be praying for your family. Like I said, everybody going through something, and just hope things work out for the family. And that's another story where we all go through, you know, surviving different things. And here again, telling our story. We don't tell a story of labor, what we do. And here this man, a lot of people didn't know the story, but he actually had the filament for the light bulb. He actually did the phones to the Alexander Graham Bell. But when you don't win the war, you don't tell the story. So thank you, Phil. Next up, we have a lady with that nice, I like that hair, girl. She is my buddy, my sister, my friend. She is your correspondent secretary, Michelle Thomas.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. I'm very honored to hold the position of correspondent secretary. And as you know, I will be there in every capacity or in any way I can. My Black history segment is on the African map, which has the 5 flag colors. Many of us see the colors, the red, green, the black, the white, the gold, but we don't know the meaning. The flag is also referred to as the Pan-African flag. The red, it stands for the blood that was split on our lands in the time of slavery. The green, it stands for the fertile lands we own, which is a source of great wealth. The black represents the color of our skin. The white represents peace, and the gold represents the sun. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. We appreciate that. Next up is Miss Tracy Dye. Wave everybody, Tracy. She's back there writing. She's probably writing. So
Oh,
Tracy,
my fingers are cramped.
Tracy is our recording secretary. Tracy.
Okay, just a little introduction. I'm not going through my second term of recording secretary for the Detroit chapter. I've been a UAW member for 44 years now. working for Chrysler, also known as Daimler Chrysler, Service, FCA, and now we're known as FCA Stellantis. I'm internationally appointed rep for UAW for Local 889, and I handle all the joint programs with that local. But I'm also Region 1's LUCA Advisory Council member, which in LUCA is the Local Communicators, Local Union Communicators Association. I'm the liaison basically between all the locals in Region 1 and Solid House as far as any type of communications with that locals may want to get out. And I'm saying all of that to preface what my talk is about. And I'm talking about the need for African-American newspapers to document Black history. The first African-American newspaper in the United States on record was called the Freedom Journal, which was a publication from 1827 to 1829. Now, this paper was started by a prominent group of free African-American citizens that lived along the East Coast. They started this paper as a way to share their view on various social, political, and economic issues that were affecting their various communities. Now, there had always been a group of well-intentioned white citizens who wanted to defend the honor of African Americans in all public forums. But that is why the very first edition of the Freedom Journal, the editors made sure they proclaimed, too long have others spoken for us. We want to be able to plead our own cause. Now, in the 194 years since the Freedom Journal first began, the Black press has chronicled and commented on events that have occurred and how they have impacted African citizens. Now, in Detroit, the very first African-American newsletter was the Venture. It started printing in 1879 and ran to 1882. Most of the time, these newsletters were short-lived and mainly because of money. They didn't have the support of the support of the people, and it was because the people didn't have the money to buy the publications. But currently there are two Black newspapers in Detroit, the Michigan Chronicle, which began in 1936 and is a weekly publication that is still published today. And we also have the Michigan Front Page, which began publication in the year of 2000 and is also a weekly publication. But in my hometown of New Orleans, there was a newspaper called the Southwestern Christian Advocate. It ran from 1879 to 1912. But what made this newspaper from all other Black publications of that time was the Lost Friends ads. These notices were from family members in search of separated family members that were lost due to the travesty of slavery. Now, this paper was distributed to nearly 500 preachers, 800 post offices, and more than 4,000 subscribers in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Arkansas. But in order to have an ad placed in the Southwest Christian Advocate, you would have to create an ad that you would write about who you were looking for, where you last knew that they lived, and how you could be reached in case they were found by your ad. But the hardest part of most Blacks at that time was coming up with the 50 cents that was needed to have the ad printed. Most of the people were making maybe $1, $2 a month. So in order to spend 50 cents on an ad, it was hard. But they scrimped and they saved, and a lot of people did have ads. For one such ad, I'm going to read you two ads real quick. One such ad that didn't ever receive the reply was this: Mr. Editor, I desire to inquire through your valuable paper about my relations. I was bred and born in Virginia, but I am unable to name the county, for I was so young that I didn't recollect it. But I remember that I lived 12 miles from a town called Danville. My master was James Farrell, and my mistress was Martha Farrell. I was sold to his brother, a speculator whose name was William Farrell, and was bought to Mobile at the age of 10 years old. To my recollection, my father's name was Joseph. My mother was Millie, my brother Anthony, and my sister Maria. We belonged to James Farrell, except one sister, Julia, and I don't know who she belonged to. Any information about the named persons will be thankfully received. My name was Annie Farrell, but my owners changed my name to Caroline Rhodes. All Christian papers, please copy, and all preachers in charge, will you please assist me in finding my long lost friends? Direct your letters, she gives her address, and oblige an obedient sister in the Lord. Now, she never received a reply. But then there's another ad, was from Betty Johnson. She did eventually receive an ad, but her ad was stated first, do you know them? I live in Louisville, Kentucky. I desire to know the whereabouts of Edwin Childs, the husband of Lucy Childs. The later was daughter of old man Carter Page before the war. She belonged, now the key word is she belonged to Franklin Guy. She had two brothers, one by the name of William Page and Archie Page. Edwin Childs belonged to Dr. Wortham, who before the war, and he always hired his own. His sister Muzinda and he worked in the tobacco factory together. Edwin Child's wife, Lucy Child, was sold to the Negro traders before the war by Franklin Guy. But Franklin Guy had two sons. One was named Tommy and the other was Warner. Please oblige me. And then she gives her address. Now, just less than 2 months later, she did get a reply. And she wrote back to Mr. Mitchell. I have heard from my father, Edwin Child. He lives in Washington City. He saw the advertisement in the Richmond Planet. I received the letter from him just last Tuesday. It has been 36 years since I last saw him. We were sold away from our father in the year of 1859. I received a letter from Philadelphia concerning the same matter. My aunt Muzinda lives in Richmond, Virginia. She gives her address. Through your kindness was the cause of me finding my father and aunt. From yours, Betty Johnson. Now, this newspaper allowed many that were lost to be found, while other African-American papers throughout our history have given us the format to tell our story to our people, our way. Thank you.
Thank you. That's so important. And one of the things I hope everybody may or may not know, that when lynching was going on, at the height of it in the 20s, the African-American newspapers were constantly putting that out there, that horrible murders had to stop. And again, remember talking about Black people couldn't read. If you don't tell the story, it'd be misinformed. Next up is our treasurer, Ms. Tawana Ruth. Tawana? Tawana still with us?
Let's see.
Okay, let me start over.
There she is. Oh, we couldn't hear you. You're still on mute, babe. You're still on mute. You're still on mute. There you go.
What about now? There I go. Okay.
All right.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I would first like to thank you all for your votes and entrusting me as your newly elected treasurer. My name is Tawana Bruce. I am a member of UAW Local 600, and I'm the appointed Employee Resource Coordinator for Dearborn Stamping Plant. It humbles me to serve you in this position. I know Arnold did a great job, and I have big shoes to fill. With the help of our great leadership in my transitioning, I am committed in doing my part in taking this chapter to greater heights. I would also like to thank Oscar Brown for doing a great job and stepping up during difficult times, and also for helping me with my transitioning. Thanks again, Oscar. Okay, so my topic the person that I chose for Black History, her name is Miss Ozzie Taylor Morton. Ozzie Taylor was the 36th Treasurer of the United States under the Carter administration from 1977 to 1981. I chose her because I felt that this was in direct relation with the current position that I'm holding. She was born in 1963 in a farming community in Dale, Texas, where she was raised by her maternal grandparents. She worked in a cotton field as a young child. Before, there was no African-American high schools in Dale, and even though Miss Taylor wasn't blind, deaf, or an orphan, She attended the Texas Blind, Deaf, and Orphan High School, where she graduated at the top of her class at the age of 16. She went on to graduate cum laude from an all-Black college in Austin with the Bachelor of Science degree in commercial education. She then attempted to enroll in the University of Texas undergraduate, but due to insufficient undergraduate courses and state segregationist policies bearing the enrollment of Blacks, she was denied. After being denied, Ms. Taylor worked at an all-girls state-sponsored school. Later, she married in 1965 to James Morton. Before becoming treasurer in 1977, Ms. Taylor Morton served on President John F. Kennedy Committee for Equal Opportunity Employment. She was a special assistant to Robert Strauss, the chair of the Democratic National Committee, was an election observer for the presidential elections in Haiti, Senegal, and the Dominican Republic, was a member of the American delegation to Rome and Italy for the enthronement of Pope John Paul II. She was also the chair of the People to People mission in the Soviet Union and China. She was a representative of First African American Conference held in Africa, and she was a member of the Alpha Kappa sorority. To this day, Ms. Morton has been the only African American to hold the position of treasurer. She died in 2003 from complications of a stroke. And in 2018, after her death, Robert E. Lee Road in Austin, Texas was renamed Ozzie Taylor Morton in her honor. I chose Ms. Morton because she was not deterred from her earlier setbacks, but instead, as you've heard me read, she began to work for change.
Thank you. Again, a variety of our story, of our culture. And now we have our third vice president. And I wanted her to go last for a reason, because she's a teacher. But I also want her to share with you something that's very important in CBTU we started years ago, is our scholarship. So Lois, please include information about our scholarship program that we have as you share your Black History reflection.
Well, Michael, I honestly thought you had forgotten.
No. Never.
Oh, I was hoping. I thought we had a pretty decent relationship for all these years. But good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lois Lofton Donover. I am your third vice president. I've been reelected to that position once again. My international union is the American Federation of Teachers. My local affiliation is the American Federation of Teachers of Michigan and the Detroit Federation of Teachers. I am a national trainer for the American Federation of Teachers, besides being a former classroom teacher for special education. And I have the honor of chairing the Education and Scholarship Committee. The Scholarship Committee will be very active, but we're not going to start working this year to give out money. We're going to have to do some fundraising, because if you recall in the financial report, we only have $234.04. And our that won't even cover one scholarship. So we're going to continue, but this year we're going to have to raise some funds. So I have a few ideas, and I will be reaching out for committee members. I will chair. I will not ask you to do something I will not do myself, but I need members that are going to actively work, besides the two people I had last year that hung in there. Michael was with me the beginning year, and then he kind of divorced himself from me.
Frank put me to work.
Oh, Frank? Okay, we'll blame Frank for that. But okay, now what I would like to do, since it's Black History Month, and I am an educator, is that I'd like to do a brief informational, I'll call it a lesson because I'm a teacher. So it's a lesson on hidden racism. I'm going to talk about a game that some of us have played. I am guilty of playing this game and never thought anything of it until I recently read an article from Phi Delta Kappa, January 20th, 21st issue by Lois Breesley, titled Hangman. And it says, what one says and does not say to a white educator. The article in summary was providing reasons why the word game, hangman, is racist and should not be played. As I said earlier, I played the game in elementary school. I played it at home. My mother wasn't overseeing it because in those days, if you were supposed to do your homework, you sit down and you did your homework. You did not play around like some of our children do. But I want you to know, I didn't have Black teachers for core academic subjects in elementary school. I had white teachers. I was introduced to the hangman game in elementary school. Only Blacks that I had in elementary, Black teachers, were the art class and sometimes the vocal music. But after doing some recent research on hangman word game, I realized it is racist and it's plain sight. I'd like to say hidden, but it's in plain sight. And lynching. And Michael mentioned something about lynching and who talked about it. But it's actually, that game is about lynching. I had the power of life and death in my spelling ability with a fictional character, a man. It's called Hangman. I want you to picture for a moment the teacher drawing a gallows along with marks under, or a secret word, under the gallows. The student guesses one letter at a time. And if they guess a letter that is not in the word, the teacher draws a body part, which is usually the first part is the head. And then other parts come later if you miss the word. This anonymous human being, this human, which is the figure it's called hang, is there. And you can either hang them or they will live. So you think about that. You don't have, this game is so powerful that none of us thought about it. And I'm sure some of you have played the game. But if you fail to spell the word correctly, you have a corpse hanging there. Teachers invite students to play the game, to practice their spelling during the free time at home and school. And many parents did not have an objective of playing hangman. But if the teacher drew a dog or a cat being hung dead from a gallows, there would be a problem, and we all know that. I want you to keep in mind lynching, and lynching is almost synonymous with being an African American. But the underlying unspoken norm seems to suggest that it is fine for a children's game to feature lynching. And of course, the dead person really isn't a part of the game. It is the process of desensitizing death, nor is the historical context of lynching. We want to desensitize this. It is just there, hidden racism, part of the silent, implicit curriculum that normalizes such death or make them invisible.
And yeah, Lord, you're absolutely right, because it's a horrible death. All those little code words, even like the word picnic, what that word means. Thank you for sharing that with us. And we're going to move on because we promised for people to get out of here. I'm going to forego my story. I'm going to tell you about Nelson Jack Edwards. I'll just tell you that he is my cousin. And maybe that's where I get my union activism from. But we were talking about earlier. I mean, my father was a UAW member. My uncles, they used to actually argue about who was better, Ford or Chrysler. That's where the different people work. But history of Nelson J, you know, he was murdered, but he was one of the first Black UAW presidents, and he was one of the co-founders of the Coalition for Black Trade Unionists. So to tell us about our history, we have a man who knows our history. As a matter of fact, Bill Lucy said me, you better get Dave to tell you, and that's what we have. Dave Clayton, please tell us about the history of the CBTU. Oh, Claxton, I said his name wrong. Dave still with us, right?
Yeah,
Did we lose him?
unmute,
Oh,
Dave.
okay.
You muted.
This is going to be good, everybody.
Many
There
of
you
you
go.
have heard me from time to time talk about our history going back to 1972. Can you imagine now I'm like 31 years old, going to a meeting in Chicago, never really seen a total meeting ran by Black labor leaders. I come out of what was then the retail clerks, which is now United Food and Commercial Workers. You know, so I go to this meeting, the president gives me a letter and say, you know, if you want to go to Chicago and go to this meeting. I don't know what it's about. Well, I go there, and to see these men talk about something that just happened just a month ago in Florida, when the when the AFL-CIO came up with no endorsement for the election that was going to take place that following year. And Richard Nixon was going to be running. And they said, wow, we cannot have this happen to us. These 5 men got together. It was Nelson Jack Edwards, Charlie Hayes, Cleve Robinson, Bill Lucy, and Bill Simon. The two, Cleve Robinson and Nelson Jack Edwards from UAW, Charlie Hayes with Meat Cutters Union, Bill Lucy, AFSCME, and Bill Simons, the American Federation of Teachers, got together and said, we got to do something. That was in August of 1972 to set up a meeting in September. Well, they thought, well, we can get a meeting in Chicago, maybe about 200-300 people might come. Over 1,300 Black labor folk showed up at that meeting, myself being one. And here they talked about, after talking about, you know, what we need to do for the election, they then talked about forming an organization. Well, what are we going to call ourselves? Came up with the name Coalition of Black Trade Unionists. Who's going to be our leader? And here's where it got very interesting, because everybody, you know, started throwing names around, this type of thing. Bill Lucy's name came up, and Bill said, well, you know, me sitting here being quiet, not saying anything, but I'll accept. Bill accepted and has been our president all down through these years. When Coalition Black Trade Unions was formed, our very first convention, we went to Washington, D.C. That next year we came to Detroit. Many unions told their Black workers, you do not go to that meeting. Simply, you just don't go. There's going to be a rump group. We don't know what they're going to be doing. You cannot go. Bill Simons from AFT spoke up and said, I'm a man. I'm paying my own way. I'm going on my time. You cannot tell me where I can go. heard that kind of thing from some of the steel workers, from some of the other unions did not want their people involved. Number one, because we were not endorsed at that time by the AFL-CIO. For years, we did not have that really total endorsement until John Sweeney came along. And when John Sweeney came along, he came to us wanting to get endorsements as he was running for the national AFL-CIO presidency. Bill spoke up at a board meeting, never forget it, down in Jackson, Mississippi, and said, Mr. Sweeney, if you want our support, there's something we're going to want from you. At that time, there was only 2 Blacks on the executive council of the AFL-CIO. John promised that if he were elected, he would increase that board. The day he got elected, that next board meeting, there were 12 people suggested for the AFL-CIO board. They were then voted in. Bill Lucy being one, Cleola Brown being one, Fred Redmond being one, you know, on and on and on. And until today, we have Blacks on that board because of Bill Lucy. You might be able to see a poster that I've got behind me here that our strength and our future. This was our 21st convention in Chicago in 1991. So, I mean, these are the kinds of things, and you see Edwards, Charlie Hayes, Bill Lucy, Cleve Robinson, and also Bill Simons. These were our leaders, and unfortunately, they've all left us and gone into their eternal sleep, other than Bill Lucy. When we really look around the country, it's very few of us that was there at that original meeting. And I do and say this in pride, proud to have been back then and even up until today. It was my fortune to be able to really run the national office for about 14 years after I retired from UFCW. I packed up, moved back to Detroit. Bill Lucy saw me one day, Dave, what are you doing now? I said, I've moved back to Detroit. He said, we need you to come back to Washington. We need you in the national office. I mean, that's the kind of thing that this guy that you know is Bill Lucy, that's the way he talked. I ended up going back to Washington. I said I would stay there for a few years, ended up being there for 14 years as the national director for the organization. And it's been my pleasure when I came back to Detroit, sat down with Frank Woods and said, Frank, you know, I'm here. What can I do? I want to be involved. This is our organization, people. Yes, there's other organizations out there, but this is one that was set up and totally operated under African-American Black leadership. And until today, it is still that way. We're a coalition. We naturally accept whatever we can from any other groups, but we are our organization. And that's why the AFL-CIO did not want us really to organize, because number one, they said we had the wrong name, Coalition of Black Trade Unionists. You need to change that name and not be so definitive. We are still the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists all the way from 1972 to here in 2021. I'll just stop there. I can go on and on because I'm just very proud of this organization.
Thank you, Dave. 50 years. And what he said happened 50 years ago, Frank Woods told you happened in a meeting this week. but they wanted to change the name. It goes back to Coochie Chakalia, when we have self-determination. Thank you so much. So everybody, we are hitting in the home stretch. We promise to get you out of here, but I didn't want to share this with you. Everyone in this room is a descendant of survivors. You heard the stories. We have more courage and resiliency than we can imagine. That is the Black history. And another thing I want to ask all of us to find a way to be kind and generous to each other. We're going to move on now to new business. And because of time-wise, I think we just have one item of new business. And I'm going to ask our first vice president if she would, and if you have any new business, of course, you can speak on it. But Tanya, if you could speak on the new business.
Hello, everyone. Well, I am coming to you from the Women's Committee. All my sister soldiers, y'all know next month is our month. I am inviting you all to come to the meeting. When you come to the meeting, I am asking that everyone, not only the sisters, because we can't do what we do without the brothers. So I'm asking everyone to wear these colors. These colors represent the Women's Month. We have red, purple, white, green, pink, and black. And when you get there, I'll explain each color. We also have some invited guests. I have invited our vice president of UAW, the only woman that's sitting up there, Cindy Estrada. She has been invited. We have our own Angela Powell, who is our Region 7 Women's Committee Chair. We have Kimberly Boyd Johnson, who is a world-renowned yoga instructor, who's going to talk to us about self-care, and be prepared to do a little moving, just to get you some things to do as we go through the hustle and bustle of our days. As we take care of other people, we have to take care of ourselves. I also invited someone as our guest speaker. She's not new to us at all. As a matter of fact, she comes out of the union family, which is Angelique Peterson Mayberry, who serves as our DPSCD president now. And she will be our keynote speaker. I'm asking all the ladies to be in attendance, all the fellas to be in attendance and support us and indulge us for a few minutes. We're going to have our very own president, Mike Joseph, that is going to give us a wonderful poem, as he always does, especially for the ladies. So please indulge in us a little bit next month as we honor the ladies and all the work that you do, and you are so appreciated. And I am going to end this by giving you all the name that our dear brother, Arnold Miller, had given me, and that's Sister Soldiers. Y'all stand, y'all fight, y'all are fearless. And I am honored to be a sister amongst you sisters.
Thank you. And everybody, we're gonna have a regular meeting, but it'll be very short, and then we're gonna turn it over to Tanya and have a wonderful program. So please let everybody know, and we'll be sending some things out. She's gonna put together a beautiful flyer, so please support her. Is there any other new business?
Pam has her hand up. Pam Powell.
Pam, please.
I just didn't want to let the meeting go by without reminding everyone that the Michigan Democratic State Convention is going to be next Saturday. Make sure you have credentials. Make sure you've downloaded the Votes app. You should already have been sent a link so that you can get registered. People that are running are going to need endorsements. Those endorsements start Monday through Wednesday. So if you don't have your credentials, please contact the party or Haley Alderman to make sure that you get those. That's it.
We got Tawana, then Tiffany got the hand raised.
Okay, just one caveat. Forgive me, the name just escaped my head. The young lady who runs the Democratic Party is running unopposed, but she still needs signatures. So we want to be aware of that. Thank you. And who's up next, Phil?
Tawana.
Thank you. Go ahead, Tawana.
I just wanted to remind everyone that if you make a check out, it has to be written out as Coalition of Black Trade Unionist Umbrella. They are no longer accepting CBTU. That's it. Thank you.
Or you can go to, or you can go ahead and do Cash App as well, everybody. Tiffany?
Credit card.
Thank you.
President, you had mentioned earlier about putting together a virtual town hall or forum in regard to the vaccine. As I am the leader of the labor department at United Way for Southeast Michigan, I'm in the early stages of putting something like that together as well. I wonder if there is any interest in a partnership with CBTU.
Yes. I'm talking with Angelique Peterson Mayberry. She and I are talking about that, and Tanya and I are working on that together. So the four of us can put our heads together and we'll come up with something. The thing is, and one may not be enough, but we need to get
No,
that
it will not. I
So,
know my plan was to have them ongoing. It's still going to be relevant all year long.
Let's do that. I will contact you and Tanya and Angelique, and we'll put together a meeting. If anybody else like to join us, give me a call and we'll make that happen. Any other new, thank you, Tiffany. Any other new business?
You got Ricardo.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Yes.
Someone had new business?
Hello?
Yeah, he's trying to get through.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
We hear you.
We hear you.
Thank you. My question is, since you can't use CBTU on the checks anymore, are you returning the checks so I can make a new check out or what?
Yeah, Ricardo, I thought I sent you an email because I'm holding on to your check and I sent it out to you, telling you what needed to be done.
Right. So therefore, do another check with that.
I can barely hear you.
I'll be receiving the previous check back. Is that the plan?
I mean, I can put it in the mail or I can just shred it.
Shred it.
Yeah, that's what the email that I sent you stated. I was waiting for your reply.
Go ahead and shred it and I'll send out a new check.
Okay, send me out a new check. Send it to the post office box 21938, Detroit 48221.
All right.
Tracy, could you repeat that again, bro? We have a new post office box. Tracy, could you repeat that again, please?
Okay, our post office box is P.O. Box 21938, Detroit, Michigan 48221, and it's CBTU DM. Make it up. That's the address, CBTU DM.
And we're gonna be ending the meeting at Frank's gonna be on an old business, and we're gonna be ending at 5. Is there any other new business? Seeing none, we'll move on to old business. Frank.
Okay, just want to make a reminder to everybody that we still have boxes of food at the vote center. For anyone to know an organization that needs food or want to serve, get the food out to different organizations or if individuals, just let me know so we can make arrangements for pickup. We still have boxes of food. We just got a delivery last week. So we probably right now have a total of almost 200 boxes that we need to move. What I did for next month, I diverted that shipment to local 900 and the Canton chapter. So they will get the shipment for next month until we deplete what we have at the vote center. And we will continue to receive those until June. So come by or let me know. You got anybody that need it, just let me know. We can make arrangements to pick up.
Thank you. Is there any other old business? Seeing none, we're moving on.
Denise.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Denise.
I was just gonna say, let Frank know that I was gonna come pick some up. He had let me know about the boxes. So
Oh, okay.
I'll get with them.
All
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Good to see you and hear your voice, dear. All right. Are there any announcements? Hearing none, like I said, I'm promised to get you out of here because it's Valentine's weekend. So I want to say on behalf of your leadership team, and you saw them today. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joanne.
First of all, I thank you all for electing me to my position I'm in, but I want to also thank you from my nephew and I, your prayers for, I'm sorry. For my nephew's new life, he received a liver transplant. He's doing exceptionally well, and I want to thank you all for your prayers. I appreciate you all. Love you.
We love you
baby.
too.
Love you so much. And that power of that prayer.
Continue prayers.
We had that powerful prayer to start us off. And that's it. Is there any other announcements?
One hand, Mike.
Go ahead, sir.
Michelle.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Yes, brothers and sisters, let's keep all of our members and families in prayer, and keep Denise Caldwell. She lost her mother-in-law this week.
Yeah.
So if we can keep her and her family in prayer.
Thank you, baby. Any other announcements?
Lois,
go ahead, Lois.
Real quick. I don't know if you were aware, Michael, that Daryl Newman, president of
Metro
AFL, lost his brother David. He had a
no, I didn't know.
And he was over 50 years old. So probably send him a card or something.
Yeah, we will. And we taking into what Denise told us, Jenny talked about, and we will have a committee doing it. Thank you, Lois, and I'll make sure that happens. Thank you. And also, Frank and I, we talk, and I was thinking about Pat Garrett and some of other people have gone on to glory. Thank God for that. Are there
Denise Caldwell.
Denise Caldwell.
Her hand is up.
Just wanted to
Oh,
say
I'm sorry.
thank
Go ahead.
you. Hi, everybody. Just wanted to say thank you for your continued prayers for my husband, and keep Leah in your prayers, because his grandmother died, which was her great grandmother, in December, and then his mom died a couple of days ago. So my daughter, this is her senior year, and she's having a rough time. So just please keep her especially lifted. Thank you so much.
We will. Phil, I can't see. Is there anyone else for announcements?
Juanita.
Go ahead, Juanita.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
I have a new grandson. Great.
All right. Oh, you muted. We can't hear you, Juanita. We can't hear you.
Okay. So I had a great grandson born today at 11:08 this morning.
All right.
And my brother's birthday. So the family is joyous.
Praise God. Thank you.
Joanne.
Go ahead, Joanne.
My nephew just want to say a few words. That's all.
Sure.
Oh, poor baby, it's okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Daniel White, Joanne's nephew, dear White brother. Thanks for the prayers and everything. Thank you.
All right.
God bless you, brother.
You are
God
so
bless
welcome, my brother. Continue prayers to you.
Speaking life into you, life into
journey.
you. Yes.
Yes.
On your journey.
You got
Y'all be
this.
safe.
You got
You
this.
too.
I love all of y'all.
We're going to continue to pray for you.
Thanks.
God bless you. All right. See, we are at the 5 o'clock mark, and unless it's a burning issue, is there any other burning announcements? If not, I want to close this with our brother who has returned to us. He called me the other day. I know who it was, and I heard his voice, and I was just so happy. And I'd like for him to share some words for him before we go. ML Davis.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be home. Hey, I paid my dues, so I'm a member now. Again.
That's the first thing I told you.
So, I don't know if I overpaid or underpaid, but I paid some money.
I think you're underpaid, brother. I think you're underpaid.
Hey, Phil, that ain't new, right?
I want to express my happiness to everyone that was in prayer with me, and a special shout out to Miss Pam Powell, who kept in touch with the family and made sure everybody was good and well. So I'm back, and I'm a soldier ready to go to work. So Mike, if you got something for me, Phil, Big Phil, T-Ray.
We got you,
even you, regional president, Mr. Frank Woods. I'm ready to go to work.
We got something for you. You know that.
And we gonna put you to work.
Oh, I got work for you.
I'm ready. Thank you, Mike.
Welcome home, brother. We love you, man. All right, everybody. We, as promised, Tracy said we couldn't do it, so Tracy, you owe me $1. We're going to end this meeting at 5 o'clock. But again, to all of you, especially our sisters, we wish you happy Valentine's Day. Everybody in love, but the most important thing is to love yourself. Take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. Be safe, everybody.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. Have a good weekend.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Everybody. Hey, Emil.
TikTok on, get the TikTok on.
I know.
Hey,
Love
Emil.
you, Denise. Love you, Catherine.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Hey, Madam Assistant Director.
Hey, baby doll.
Hey, Tanya.
Hey, who broke me in Atlanta?
Oh my.
Remember that. Hey, Michelle,
Good all.
Yes,
Michelle, can you talk for a little bit after this?
yes, I'll call you.
Okay, cool.
All right, baby. Bye-bye.
All right.
See y'all later.
Bye,
Y'all have a good day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Phil, I sent you that information.
All right.
Phil, I
Yeah.
sent it to you. Okay.
It's still.
I'm sorry. Hello?
Who was that comment? Denise or
Somebody
Juanita?
said something.
Somebody did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk with you, Phil. I mean, I'll be praying for you and your family, man.
Okay, thank you, brother.
God bless you, bro.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Shaq, how you doing, brother?
Good, good. Send me your number, and I sent you a chat message.
Okay. Oh, you did? Oh,
Yep.
I tell you what. Give me a Shaq. Do I have your? Hold on. Just give me your number real quick. Hold on, Shaq. Okay. Put it in my phone right now.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and give it to me, Shaq.
313-418-8797.
Okay. I'm calling you right now. That's my number.
Okay. All right.
All right. Be safe, man. Tell them babies. Oh, they ain't babies no more. Tell them I said hi.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Yep.
All right, closing it down.
All right, man. Be safe.
Yep, you too. Y'all take care.